Once upon a time, there lived a king who was known for his fairness and wisdom. One day, two women came before him with a troubling dispute. One of the women carried a baby boy in her arms, while the other stood empty-handed. "O king," cried the woman without the child, "I beg you to help me. That woman has stolen my baby. He is mine and I want him back." "That is not true," protested the woman who held the infant. "This is my son, my baby boy." The king, confused, turned to them both. "Explain yourselves. Why do you believe the child belongs to you?" he asked the woman who had no child in her arms. She bowed her head and began. "We lived together, she and I. On the same night, we both gave birth in the same house. There was no one else present." The king raised his eyebrows. "No midwives? No witnesses?" "We had no money for midwives, your majesty," she answered sorrowfully. "And our husbands are both dead, which is why we shared a home. That night, her baby died in his sleep, but mine lived. When I awoke, she had switched the children. She placed her dead child beside me and was nursing my son as if he were hers. When I told her to return my child, she refused and accused me of lying." "She lies," the other woman shouted angrily. "My baby lived and hers died. She rolled over in her sleep and smothered him. Look at my son now, he is suckling at my breast. Would he do so if he were not mine?" The king studied both women carefully. The infant truly was breastfeeding, which made the matter even more confusing. Still, he could not tell who was lying. Could one really have smothered her own child? Could the other truly have stolen a baby? The king was troubled. At that moment, his advisor, a peculiar but clever man, spoke up. "Your Majesty, I have a solution." "Speak," said the king. "Since we cannot know who speaks the truth, let us divide the child in two," said the advisor calmly. "Each woman gave birth, and each deserves a child. Half for one, half for the other." "That is a fine idea," exclaimed the woman holding the baby. "Childbirth is painful, so she deserves something as well. Half the child is fair." But the other woman fell to her knees in horror. "No. Do not harm my baby. Spare his life. Let her keep him, even if it means I lose him forever. I would rather he live and be raised by another than die before my eyes." The advisor folded his arms and looked at the king. "Do you see? A true mother would never allow her child to be harmed. The one who is willing to see him split cannot be his mother." The woman holding the child grew desperate. "But I am his mother. Look, he nurses from me." "Children will nurse even from animals if they are hungry enough," the advisor replied sharply. "That does not prove he is yours. Give him to his real mother." The king nodded firmly. "Do as he says." And so the infant was taken from the arms of the woman who had stolen him, and returned to his true mother. The child cooed happily, and his mother wept tears of relief. "Thank you, O king," she said. The other woman's face twisted with anger, though she said nothing. The advisor glared at her. "You accused this poor woman of smothering her child, when in truth, you stole her baby. Perhaps we should split you in two for such lies." The woman turned pale and trembled. "Forgive me, O king. I was grief-stricken and desperate." "She will live," the king declared at last. "One death is enough for today." Both women bowed, thanked the king, and left the court. Later, the king turned to his advisor. "It was good that you saw the truth. I was thinking like a ruler, but not like a mother. When you proposed dividing the baby, it was the sorrow of the true mother that revealed her heart. That woman could not have smothered her child. Her love for her son was too deep." The advisor nodded. "Does it matter which woman raises the child, so long as he is loved?" The king thought for a long moment. "Yes, it matters. A mother's bond with the child she bore is strong. And if the thief raised him, she would live her whole life under the weight of lies. Neither she nor the child could ever be truly happy." Then the king added, "We must ensure that every woman in this kingdom has a midwife when she gives birth. No mother should suffer alone, and perhaps then fewer disputes like this will arise." "A wise thought, your majesty," said the advisor. "If all women have midwives, we will have fewer cases where babies risk being split in two." The king gave him a curious look. "Tell me truthfully, were you really going to cut that child in half?" The advisor chuckled. "Of course not. I have no magic for such things. The strongest magic is often the kind that reveals the truth. The king smiled thoughtfully, and he agreed. And so, the baby remained safe in the arms of his true mother, and the kingdom remembered the wisdom of its king and his advisor.